Let's quickly unpack the details when it comes to this. Bright Kumalo from Vestac Asset Management joins us now at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Bright, thank you so much for the time. A much better stance for the JSE, 1%, and it seems to not just be a local thing, it's really just about the globe, right? China and US really doing some good things there.
Yeah, I mean, you've quoted some very interesting stats there saying, it's been basically the best start of a half year in the US, with their 17.2% since 1997, and locally it's been the best basically since in 8 years or 9 years, something like that. So we're also looking at some really good numbers, even though locally it doesn't feel as good as we've seen and how we feel about the US market. But yeah, it's been a very good start of the year in terms of performance there. But if you break it down locally on how this performance is, how we're getting this performance to be where it is today, Naspers is up around 30% year to date if you add back that multi-choice unbundling, of which the other companies that have contributing to that performance number are platinum players and as well as some gold players. Funny enough, because gold was at 6-year highs as well not so long ago. So those are the only contributors basically to the returns. And if you look at all of the other JSE companies, you ask yourself, why are they free riders? When are they going to come to the party? For example, like consumer-facing companies, that it hasn't been very good for them.
Yeah, as you make note of that, I actually just look behind you, and it's a good mark really for the Foschini Group, actually, despite everything out there. But you are right, the likes of Naspers, Goldfields, and even Anglo Gold Ashanti, they're going up over 20%, a massive one there for Goldfields, nearly 0.5% higher as well. Where is the sentiment coming from, though? Is there a sustained bull run that we're going to see? I mean, the US has now entered 121 months of consecutive bull runs there, and that's over 10 years of this bullish tendency for the market. Does it continue?
I can't really say how much it's going to continue, but the American economy is looking strong, and unemployment at all-time lows. Good quality jobs are being made available for people, and people are snatching them. People who are outside of the employment market, who had lost hope, they're also coming back, giving their skills back to the economy. So that's very good to see. And obviously this is trickling down to the rest of the global economy, but not so much, because there's still some cracks there. If you look at Europe and definitely South Africa, it's not looking so good. We just came out of a recession last year, and we shrunk in the first quarter of the year. Hopefully we did better in the second quarter. It's the market always finds a reason why to worry about something else. So I'm sure in a week or two we'll find another problem that's going to distract us. But what's most important right now, this relief rally that we're seeing, is that Trump went to the G20 meeting. He negotiated he spoke to Xi Jinping, and because he's desperate for a win for the 2020 elections, so he basically showed his hand. Unfortunately, didn't play his cards close to his vest, and the market is cheering those news. And even the Huawei story is becoming very light, because now Huawei can do business with American companies, and these trade negotiations are going to be very interesting to follow very closely going forward.
Yeah, I mean, he's also eased off on the restrictions to Huawei as well, right? So that, as you said, does certainly show his hand a little bit there. On the roll, then, you also have the likes of the currency faring a little bit better. Yes, we had it at 14.05, and yes, now it's down to 14.10 or so. But it's a general bullishness, right? But would you say it's still undervalued?
Yes. The rand, the rand is still very undervalued, unfortunately. But again, on the overall, it's still our underlying economy. If we can, at least fix some of those structural problems that we have. The big one, the elephant in the room being Eskom. I know I've been saying this for numerous times now. I'm going to say it again. We'll see, some stability there, and the rand will come to play. And as soon as the economy starts turning around without us having any troubles with power, a lot of things will go right for this economy of ours.
Yeah. What about that oil price then as well? Just climbing steadily above that $66 a barrel mark. We had hoped that South Africa's petrol price would even decrease quite substantially. That doesn't look like it would come to the fore now. And of course, the OPEC Plus are deciding today whether to keep things as they are, and just continue with their supply cuts. That's bound to hurt countries like us.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest, oil suppliers, which is Saudi and their friends, up there in the Middle East, they decided they're going to keep, their cuts or their restrictions on oil supply the way they are, and that's the reason why the oil price is going up, right? But what's very interesting is that for us South Africans, we're expecting a 94-cent drop in the petrol price as soon as tomorrow, but I don't know, we might see that happen now, but we have to gauge what's going to happen in the next month or so. Looking at those oil forecasts and what comes of those OPEC meetings, we might actually just go back again. You're seeing petrol price going the wrong way, unfortunately, for the consumer. But the good news for now is that it's going the right way for the consumer, and we should actually celebrate every little win at this point.
Let's change the old adage: what goes down sadly must go up in this instance. And it feels like that petrol price will go up again at some stage. But nonetheless, Bright, appreciate your time there live for us at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Bright Khumalo from Vestact Asset Management there, giving us an update on that market picture. We'll quickly take a break. We continue with some more economic news as well right after the short break. Of course, that PMI number having come out as well a little bit early.